Hey, by whose judgment do you say how much of my essence is left? Hey, I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to you, eh? Am I speaking to myself? Can't possibly be speaking to myself. I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to your spirit. Whose spirit? I'm speaking to the spirit of the female that could have been my girlfriend. We could have been closer. Now, her spirit and her philosophy, they tried to form me in certain ways, and I had to gain a lot of wisdom to be able to just imagine myself. So imagine myself how I wanted to, and I kind of had to interact with many different spirits, right? So I just said, hey, that's philosophy. It's wisdom. Say the questioning had to do with my name. It had to do with my name, okay? Re Luluwa, Re, good. Re Luluwa, the goodness of the Lord, or the goodness of God, right? So an idea in the heart and mind and spirit of my mother and father as they came together, and I popped out, right? Now, take a look if you want to take a look. Now, even that. Now, you blessing Olonobio Joe, correct? Blessing Olonobio Joe, Bolu Tufeo Joe, Bolu. Like, take a look, Bolu. Like, you don't do me that way. As per my personality, you want to see my underwear, want to see my clothing, want to see the stove, want to see how I do things. You don't even know the secret to that, so I'm not showing you the secret and all the other things. I've secured some things. We've secured some things. Okay. Over the years, it became a battle against your spirit. Blessing Olunubio Joe Bolu Tufel Joe Bolu, and then it also became a battle or a fight against my family and all the entire world. But hey, I say that it's all good, baby. What do you mean by that? What do I mean by that? What do I mean by it's all good? If I'm always looking down, I'm always looking up. Am I looking down or am I looking up? Even when I'm looking up, it looks like I'm looking down. Blame the devil on that, eh? What was the devil doing? The devil was doing something. Hey, Bolu. I'd like to know why Bolu. We're not moving that one, Bolu. Take a look, Bolu. I've already secured some things. There are things I secured before you could mess around with me, Bolu. Want to see? Take a look at that. Pen, Bolu. Good vibes only. Dream big. I'm freaking 30 years old, Bolu. You can't keep on messing with me. I'm gonna find you. But Bolu, eh? Bolu. What are we? You think you want to imagine yourself as my father? Is it that serious? You tried, but the problem, Bolu, is that freaking my father is my father. My father really is my father. Okay, so you can't mess around on that level. If you and your Iffy Echo and you and your Chloe Faith Williams and all the rest of your friends, you can't mess around with me on that level. And that's per your name, Bolu. Freaking your name is a unisex name. Okay, so there are men named Blessing. There are women named Blessing. My name is also a unisex name. So the Rilulua is a name that can be for males. It can be for females. Even my brother's name, Oluwatobi, that's a name that can be for males and it can be for females. Okay, that's the interesting thing about a lot of these unisex names. Okay, as for Iffy, I don't know if her name is unisex or not. As for Chloe, that's mostly a female name. So what am I saying? So my wisdom is mostly about personal identity and then the mind-body problem where I'm trying to understand how my brain and my consciousness and how my soul and my spirit are related to my body as a born-again Christian and as a man that's ready to take on the world, okay, at 30 years old. So my wisdom is also kind of characterized something. When my wisdom is kind of effeminate, it means that I'm thinking of baby making and names of children and how that affects the spirit and how that affects the world, the physical world. Okay, when my philosophy, my wisdom, wisdom is always feminine, but when I'm operating as a man, okay, then I say that, hey, what do I have of my? I have money, I'm able to move. I have calculus, I have physics, and then physics is also related to chemistry. So yeah, it's just it's all related to each other. Okay, you can talk about chemistry and what things are made out of. Freaking, hey, Bolu, look at this. It's not real gold. I say I'm living my life like it's golden. Okay, so a little silver, silver, gold. You say I don't have to behave like a female. I can think like a female. Okay, I can think like a female, but I'm a man. I can think like a female, and I can think like a man. That's a constant odd thing, right? Over time, right? But I have to be masculine. Okay. So it's like you don't like the way I express myself. Every time, Bolu, that you try to mess with me, freaking, you are not my father. If that's a trick to the Bolu thing, yeah, you want to mention my father Olulawa Akintayo, eh? If it's at the level of the water, see, that's how much of my essence is still there. See that all the air, what is the air? The air is all philosophy. No, the air can't be all philosophy. The air and the fluid. See, the air represents the fluid dynamics. Okay, the air is fluid, the type of fluid. Both of the water and the air are representations of fluid, and the equations are here. And lots of equations that are related to that. So if you want to say manhood is philosophical to the engineer, because the engineer doesn't have to be a man. Because I am a man. Okay. So I can think of being a man in a philosophical sense, in terms of wisdom, and I can also think of being a man in terms of an engineer. But a man is an engineer. It's just a bottle, but you can think of it in so many different ways. You want to say, where is my shield of faith? You don't need to know about what my shield of faith is. That's a secret. But you still want to see. You want to see, well, what justifies things. Freaking, it's a secret. I'm not going to show you what my face looks. But you want to say, oh, my masculinity is fragile, eh? And no, I'm not going to show you my bed, Bolu. I'm not going to show you, but you can see that freaking. If you want to look at the armchair, you can imagine yourself in the armchair, but you're not in the armchair. That's my special armchair. Did I even pay for it? Freaking, even when I actually start earning an income and paying for things the way I'd like, I always make sure that I was going to be an armchair because that's my philosophical, freaking wisdom, freaking manhood armchair, fatherhood armchair. Okay. But the husband, your wife can sit in there. My wife can sit there too. But I don't have a wife yet. But I'm believing for a wife. Look at the boxes. Okay. You can only look at them from a distance, Bolu. Okay. That's the box of secrets. What's that? You don't need to know what that is. Now, the funny thing is that I know what you studied, Blessing, Bolu Chufe, whatever you call yourself. You studied some physics and you even studied some calculus, but I have to get beyond what you studied, because you already know that freaking that it's an engineer that's speaking. I'm speaking to the other Blessing that's just pretending to be an engineer, that know that she's imagining herself kind of stealing something from a man. You understand? So another thing I'm trying to say is that, Blessing, that your wisdom and who you are can't be who I am. So it's like I try to do some things where I'm letting the voices of men from all over the world, like tell me what it means to be a man, and they have to like fight against your with the way you see things. And so I say P C reminds me of freaking Elise Kroll, Professor. I don't want when I'm being respectful. I say Professor Kroll, so P Kroll. And then there's an Apple laptop that's charging that you don't even know about. It's not even charging, but it's just filled. It has a battery full. As for some other secrets, you can take a look here. if you so desire. But that's only all I even let you see. So that is a conundrum, isn't it? So we have the highlighter. The blue. So the blue is like it's supposed to be main boy. It means there are different shades of blue. Okay. So like freaking, if you want me to imagine yourself as me, it'll be difficult. And then even if the spirits want to use my father, and you say Bolu Olulawa, you don't want to say Bolu Lawa, that don't mess around. So it's funny. Sometimes I say there's too much ink on that one. I like green better. I say the funny thing is that you're trying to think of Charis, right? The truth is that we both Virgo, but when I need to get some things done, that's when I allow the power of Charis to kind of move me around and help me out with some things. Say Charis also can be male and female, male or female. Okay, and this one makes me think of gold. See, technically I like to think of myself as being number one, as being first place. And then you want to say really, that actually freaking is you're actually second place. So it's silver. Am I silver or am I gold? So that's what we deal with. Okay, do I use the color blue or is it green? Sometimes a little bit of blue, sometimes green. Blue, green. And then, of course, in the future when I have more money and I'm working and having more money, then it's like, okay, I use different colors or different patterns, and you can be more vibrant on this. Then I say, hey, you say this kind of looks like the symbol of NBC. You gave me from ACMH, my supportive housing. It looks like the symbol of NBC. And say, if I want to watch the news, watch NBC or not. I don't have to, but you understand. What do you mean by I don't have to? There's two spirits that I deal with. Get specific. You have to try. You kind of find out which philosophers I'm using. I say there's Wittgenstein on the left. Okay, let me say that again. There's Wittgenstein on the left, and Friedrich Nietzsche on the right. You say now what you're saying. Blessing of Little Joe Bolu is that white on the inside, black on the outside. See, I'm not going to show you my freaking my philosopher's Bible. The philosopher's Bible is in the box of secrets. That's the Bible that I say I can talk to someone like she's my imaginary girlfriend. And if other people get too close and start to insult me, I just say they're behaving like a little woman. And that refers to Lucifer. But that's a problem. That became a problem. And you say, well, I'm not Luciferian. My intellect is what it is. Do I have Luciferian intellect? Then I say, if I go to the Bible and find the scripture that says that I have the mind of Christ, Bolu, I'm showing you things because that's how far you went. I think I remember which scripture. So you want to read my Bible with me? Can you even find it? Because do we have the mind of Christ together? I'm talking about fornication again. I don't even know where it is. Where's the mind of Christ thing? Actually, that is a problem, isn't it? There is a problem. Where is the mind of Christ thing? Where is the mind of Christ? The mind of Christ. I want to highlight that one. It's a particular color that I used to highlight that'll make things happen in the spirit, as I believe. Okay. Titus was not a rapist. They accused him of rape, but he didn't rape anybody. Titus Andronicus, the mother of some Roman general or someone, was saying, "Oh, he's commanding freaking her sons to go rape." Which is better, to be accused of rape or to be commanded to go and fucking rape? How do you freaking justify yourself as a human being? As a freaking man, when you have to deal with that stuff, I have to deal with what I have to deal with. There is a mind of Christ scripture. I know it's in Corinthians. Okay, you'd rather say I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's the Philippians. That's what you'd rather say, but it's a mind of Christ, and I don't like Galatians. Okay, Bio or Bolu, Bio or Bolu. You see, I don't like them. I don't like the freaking Galatians. Galatians just be like, oh, we're all this. You try to justify equality. Freaking, I fell. Okay, I fell very far, and it was very personal. Okay? Well, there's some love here, okay? I show you a more excellent way, and we talk about love. How does a woman even understand this? Because a woman can look to see, there's a man, this, man, that. Freaking, however a woman think about it, I'm a man, so I can think of the way, think of things the way I want to think of them. Okay, follow, you want to say, talk about being naked, hunger, blah, blah, blah. Where is the mind of Christ scripture? I think the mind of Christ scripture is in Romans. No, it ain't. I can't remember. I don't want to use the internet, okay? As a matter of fact, you know what? I'll just train the freaking faith. So okay, see. We are justified by faith. I'm not going to show you the object that I use to represent my faith, that I will never lose. I'll never lose it. So we're going to keep the camera here as I go search the internet.